The night air was biting, colder than Ryan had anticipated, and the frost seemed to seep through his worn-out jacket as he walked through the dimly lit streets. His thoughts were heavy, like the overcast clouds that hung ominously in the sky. Rejection, again. The email's words repeated in his mind. Innovative, but not commercially viable. 23 times now. He had lost count of the apologies and polite disinterest in his invention. Ryan had poured everything into his prototype. It wasn't just a device, it was a lifeline for people like his younger sister Emily. Diagnosed with a rare degenerative disease, Emily had lost her voice years ago, yet her vibrant spirit shone through her expressive eyes and the smile she managed despite her struggles. Ryan had dedicated his life to giving her and others like her the gift of speech, but the world seemed deaf to his efforts. As he stepped into his tiny apartment, Emily greeted him with a soft smile from the couch, where she was bundled up in a thick blanket. The sight of her made his chest ache. Her cheeks, once rosy, were pale, and her breathing was shallow. Yet her eyes sparkled with hope. "Did they say yes?" she asked, her voice a mere whisper. Ryan forced a smile. "Not yet," he said. "They're thinking about it." Her smile faded slightly, but she nodded. She believed in him, and that belief was both his greatest comfort and his heaviest burden. That night, unable to sleep, Ryan scoured the internet for any opportunity to pitch his idea. Hours passed until he stumbled upon a headline that caught his attention. Innovators Challenge. Pitch your idea to Carson Industries. His pulse quickened as he read the details. The competition promised a $1 million investment for groundbreaking ideas. It was exactly what he needed. The entry fee, however, was $500, a sum he couldn't afford. His savings had dwindled to nearly nothing after paying for Emily's treatments and keeping the lights on. Ryan stared at the old watch on his bedside table. It had belonged to his father, a relic of better days. He sighed deeply, picking it up and running his fingers over the worn leather strap. The next morning, he sold the watch at a pawn shop. It barely fetched $200. To make up the rest, he took on extra shifts as a delivery driver, working until his body ached and his eyes burned from exhaustion. With just days to spare, he scraped together the $500 and submitted his application. The weeks leading up to the competition were grueling. Ryan worked tirelessly, fine-tuning his prototype and rehearsing his pitch until he could deliver it in his sleep. Emily helped as much as she could, offering suggestions and words of encouragement despite her worsening condition. She was his greatest cheerleader, even from her bed. On the day of the competition, Ryan dressed in his only suit, one he had borrowed from a friend. It didn't fit perfectly, but he straightened the tie and tried to focus on the task ahead. The convention center was buzzing with energy, filled with aspiring entrepreneurs presenting ideas that promised to change the world. Ryan felt out of place among the polished pitches and confident smiles, but he reminded himself why he was there. When his turn came, he stepped onto the stage, his prototype in hand. He began his presentation with a trembling voice, but as he spoke about Emily and the millions like her who lived in silence, his passion took over. He demonstrated the device's ability to translate neural signals into speech, a breakthrough he had spent years perfecting. By the time he finished, there was silence in the room, followed by polite applause. James Carson, the billionaire philanthropist and head judge, leaned forward in his chair. "Your idea is undeniably innovative," he said, his voice measured. "But passion alone doesn't make a business. How will you make this commercially viable?" The question caught Ryan off guard. He stammered, trying to articulate a response, but his lack of a solid business plan was evident. Carson nodded curtly. "Thank you for your presentation. Next." Ryan walked off the stage, his heart sinking. He had failed. As he exited the venue, his mind raced with thoughts of disappointment and despair, but before he could leave, a voice called out behind him, "Wait!" It was Lisa, one of the junior judges. She approached him with a determined look. "Your idea has potential, but you're missing the bigger picture. Carson wants innovation, yes, but he also wants sustainability. If you're willing to put in the work, I can help you." Ryan hesitated, then nodded. He had nothing to lose. Over the next month, Ryan and Lisa worked tirelessly to refine his pitch. She taught him how to present his idea in a way that appealed to investors, balancing profit with purpose. Ryan learned to speak the language of business, something he had always shied away from. Just as things were looking up, Emily's condition worsened. She was rushed to the hospital, and Ryan spent sleepless nights by her bedside. One evening, as he held her hand, she whispered, "Promise me you won't give up, no matter what. You have to finish this, for me and for everyone who needs it." Ryan choked back tears. "I promise." A month later, Carson Industries announced a second round of pitches, both promising candidates. Ryan was invited back. This time, he was ready. Standing on the stage again, he felt a sense of calm. He presented his refined pitch, outlining not just the technology, but the lives it could change and the market it could disrupt. He shared testimonials from families who had used the prototype, their voices breaking as they described the joy of hearing their loved ones speak for the first time. When he finished, the room erupted in applause. James Carson stood up and extended his hand. "You've convinced me," he said. "Let's make this a reality." The deal was sealed, and Ryan's invention became a global sensation. At the launch event, Ryan dedicated the success to Emily. "This is for my sister," he said, his voice breaking, "and for everyone who dreams of being heard." Emily wasn't there to see it. She had passed away just days before the launch. But her spirit lived on in every person who regained their voice thanks to Ryan's device. Ryan's journey wasn't just about creating a product. It was a testament to resilience, love, and the unyielding power of hope.